Good morning, dear class 10 students. Dear students, last month we had just started chapter 2, that is the growth of nationalism, and there we could see that even after the defeat of war of 1857, the Indian people did not lose their heart. They continued their fighting for the freedom of the nation, and at the same time we could see that the next viceroy, that is Lord Lytton, he, to suppress the Indian people more pathetically, he introduces many new laws and orders against the Indian people. So there we have already seen in the previous videos that when we talked about the repressive policies, there we could see that Lord Lytton has organized Delhi Darbar, and during this time Indian people were dying because of the various famines, but he was not concerned about the problems of the people, sufferings of the people. And in this Delhi Darbar, he spent a huge amount of money for the gathering. And in the next paragraph, we could say that he brought a new law that is called the Arm Act, where the law was made against the Indian people, and according to this law, the Indian people cannot carry the guns without having the license, whereas the British can keep the guns even not having the license. So this law was against the interest of the Indian people, which really struck them in the life at the time. And then another point, we could see that the Vernacular Press Act. So Lord Lytton even now stopped the Indian press to publish any message, or we would call the any news which could hurt the British feeling. So now the Indian press were not allowed to publish any materials in against of the British people or in against of the British policy. So, and also we could see that the age for writing or going for the civil service exam was reduced, that was reduced from 21 to 19. And in this situation also we could see that the Indian people could not compete or could not go for the writing of the exams, because by the time the students in India were still studying various subjects, and then they were just in the colleges. So due to that reason they also could not go for the competitive exams. And another point, we saw that is the Ilbert Bill. And Ilbert Bill was brought or introduced by the suppress a little bit. And according to this bill, the Indian people as well as Indian magistrate as well as the British magistrate were given the equal opportunities and equal, what is called, we could call, the rights to deal with the cases of the British criminals as well as the Indian criminals. So now what was the matter here, that the Indian magistrate cannot deal with the cases of the British people or the British criminals. So when this law was made in favor of the equality of both the Indian as well as the British magistrate, the British people, they got fired, and then they opposed. They did all sorts of hartals to remove this equality system. So these are the some topics we had discussed in the previous videos, and I had explained to you these all things. Now let us then move towards the socio-religious reforms movement. So dear students, during this national movement, not only the Indian people are fighting for the freedom of the nations, but even we could see a lot of changes, lot of reformation taking place in the social background, and also in the religious background. Here we could see that these all social and religious reforms movement were the pioneer or the path maker of the national movement or the nationalism. And also we could see the Western education, which also helped the Indian people to understand understand the situations of the country. And also now these all Western education help them to demand and to raise reasons. So another thing, here we have the humanitarians. Now people also understood the feeling of each other, the human value of the Indian people. And also we could see that through this Western education, the Indian people, they understood the scientific discoveries and then the inventions, which slowly started changing the lifestyle of the Indian people. So here it is saying that it made the education Indians realize that they need to reform their religion and the society. So those Indian people who are educated, now they thought of bringing and changing the society old system, and to bring a system which could talk equality, fraternity, and also which could provide the equal opportunity for the Indian people. They felt that the path of progress lay in the acceptance of the West of the East and the West. The result was the birth of socio-religious reform movement touching almost every segment. Segment means the group of people of the Indian society. In this social sphere, in this social field or area, this movement worked for the abolition of caste system. So these all social religious movement helped the social reformers or the educated Indians to remove the caste system from the country, and also to stop the child marriage, dowry system. Dowry system, you all understand that the girl child her girl child, when she was given in the marriage, she has to give some donations to the husband family. And this way we could see that the girl's family used to struggle a lot economically. And also we could see the Pada system, sati and infant infanticide means the killing of the girl's child. So these all were strongly opposed by the social reformers. And then we could see, instead of them, now the new social systems were brought up, or we'd call the introduced in the society. Now they launched a crusade against social and legal inequality. So we could see now very strongly, very vigorously, these all systems were changed, and then the new systems were brought in the Indian society. In the religious sphere, these reforms movement combated religious superstitions. So when we talk about the religious area, then we could see in India the people mostly believe in the superstitions. That means the false belief. You all know that what is that false belief? That if some omen takes place, omen in the society, then the immediately people start believing, and also attack the idolatry. Idolatry means the idol worship. So even the Indian educated people and the social reformers oppose the idol worship, polytheisms, and hereditary priesthood. These movements fought for individual liberty and the social equality. So these all movement now all togetherly fought for the liberty and the social equality of the people of India. Now let us see some last paragraph. Prominent reformers movement were started by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He was a very well known personality and one of the greatest social reformer of our country. Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Swami Vivekanand, Ramakrishna Mission, and the Jyotiba Pol Satya Sodak Samaj. So these were the people, great people who really contributed a lot and brought a lot of changes in the Indian society. So dear students, we will continue in the next video.